Y'all ready to blaze away or what?
I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on TikTok. If you can click the link in the description and follow me, it would be a great help. Regardless, we're talking about the character Dragunov today. A lot of people don't know this, but I was a Dragunov main. Back in the Tech Attack Tournament 2, where you were allowed to pick 2 characters, Yoshi was the primary, Dragunov was the secondary for a very, very, very long time. There was a little bit of Slim Bob in there as well, but Dragunov is a character that I love so dearly. When I looked at his story, when I looked at his personality, it just captured me. And it's interesting because the character really doesn't talk like that. The character doesn't speak. It's not that he can't speak, it's that he's a man of few words. He likes to, just get in there and get busy, right? Let the action speak. He's a man on a mission. He is a skilled warrior. He is a military expert. And I love that tactician that he brought to Tekken. The way that you describe the character is the same way the character would fight in battle. Like, I love it. Dragunov is a really cool character, but something for me personally, I feel like as time went on for the game, for the franchise of Tekken, his role has been diminished. When he first showed up in Tekken 5, like a lot of characters you could talk about, Asuka, Fang, Raven, they had so much potential. It seemed like these characters were going to play a huge role in the story or have their own stories, their own narratives, their own things that they wanted to accomplish. But as we see, going from Tekken 5 to 6, Tag 2 to 7 to 8, these roles and these things that these characters were doing was just getting smaller, 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 and smaller. To now, they're kind of like characters of themselves. They're pretending to be Dragunov, pretending to be Steve Fox. They're not really doing what they set out to do, what they were destined to do, what their story is about, And we're kind of seeing a lot of these characters just flow around in this infinite space and not really accomplish anything, do anything, be anything. And for the character like Dragunov, who's so popular, who's so beloved, I want to see him get active, bro. When you look at some of his earliest, descriptions of what the character is, you have this image here. I love this image. He's talking to a bunch of other military generals, and on this monitor in the background, you see Devil, Jin, all over the monitor. Now, here's what you got to remember, right? Yes, we, the players, know that Jin and Kazuya can turn into devils, but the world didn't know that. They didn't know that until Tekken 7. 7, Heihachi's mission was to expose Kazuya's devil powers and devil form to the world, but everything that happened before then, most people did not know that Jin and Kazuya could go devil. So the fact that Dragunov knew in Tekken 5 and they were planning these things just shows you how, like, in the loop, in the know he was. These guys are sitting here like they have a plan. You also have, who's that, Martial Law down there, Asuka down there, that even looks like Raven right there too. So these guys are targeting multiple different characters, but I really want to highlight the devil aspect because Dragunov is a military general, right? Military expert. He at times leads multiple people, he leads an army, but sometimes he goes on solo missions. But in the era of Tekken 5, it seems like a lot of that stuff was revolving around trying to capture the devil gene, whether it be capturing the blood of Jin, Kazuya, or whether it be capturing them entirely. We saw in his non-canonical ending where he had that devil like Jin clone and what it looked like in a tank. I have an idea for you guys, right? We all know that Jin and Kazuya, their devil genes seem to be gone. Maybe it's neutralized. Heihachi was saying, they awake their devil gene, so maybe it'll come back. If you guys watch my previous videos, you're going to keep up, right? If you haven't watched those videos, you're probably going to be a little bit out of the loop, but I can't trace all of these different topics every single time we mention it. But basically, if you know, Jin and Kazuya, their devil gene should be dormant. And for Jin, that matters a lot because Devil Jin, his character, is a character on the roster. And a lot of people don't want Devil Jin to be replaced, especially with Angel Jin, because yes, Angel Jin is a similar version of Devil Jin. It's not the same. Devil Jin, the reason why it's separate is because he's different. He's not Jin anymore. He's the devil just harboring Jin's body. And that's why he laughs. That's why he's evil. That's why he's crazy, right? So that's why Jin exists and Devil Jin exists. But if Jin no longer has the Devil Gene or can activate it, Devil Jin disappears. But here's where I throw you guys an idea. What if that what if ending that Dragunov was doing in Tekken 5, where he had that Devil Jin clone type creature in a tank, what if they make that canon and they're like, that's actually real? One thing that I wanted to make this video and say is that I kind of dislike how Dragunov is not his own person anymore. He went from being a military expert to now he's working with Kazuya, acting like a pawn. And I think the developers did that obviously because what Russia's doing in real life. They don't want to have Dragunov being this Russian military expert doing war stuff, war this and that. I think it hits a little too close to home. So I think they tried to separate Dragunov from the whole war idea and put him on Team Kazuya to just make it a little lighter. But I think they can make this whole thing make sense also with the character of Dragunov is by having him going undercover. This is where I want to show you guys a non-canonical comic, but once again, it is a excellent one. In this comic, you have Jin and Kazuya fighting in their devil forms. Raven then shows up and steals a sample of both of their bloods. Dragunov then shows up and steals that sample from Raven. These two have a little battle. Dragunov's really just trying to escape, and he basically manages to do that, right? Dragunov escapes with the blood of Jin and Kazuya. My idea for what they can do with the character Dragunov to salvage his story and make him is to have this actually play out. Say that the reason why he joined Team Kazuya is because he was secretly trying to get the blood of Jin and Kazuya, and he was able to do that on the battlefield. And then with that blood, he's able to complete his cloning experiments. And then now, even though Jin has conquered his Devil Gene and no longer has the Devil Gene, Dragunov creates this weird Devil Gene mutant monster hybrid. Not only does that develop Devil Gene as a character, but it makes Dragunov this huge big brain focus, right?